Hey everyone, you're listening to the Breezy Moms Podcast, a weekly show that chronicles the adventures of motherhood. I'm Candace. Now let's start the show. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. How are you?
Hi Candace.
Hi Tom.
How are you?
I'm really good. Every week it's the same, right? 5 minutes ago, maybe half an hour ago, I was curled up on a toddler bed trying to battle Emery to sleep because he's exhausted because he took an early nap today. So he's been up since, I don't know, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And we're having dinner and he nearly hit his face on the island. Like, is one of those fall asleep things again?
Wasn't Emery the one that you had on video?
Yes.
Sucking on a Go-Gurt?
Yes.
Falling, like literally he was asleep and he was tearing that thing up.
He was. So this time he had already eaten dinner and we were watching the Power Rangers movie from 2017 because it's like all Power Rangers all the time in my house, and I'm so sick of all of the episodes that they keep watching. I was like, hey, let's watch the movie.
But they don't even know what the real Power Rangers was
No,
like.
Lincoln asked for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Really?
That's our Power Rangers. Now it's like Power Rangers Megaforce, Dino Charge, like Samurai, Space, like they're all these different kinds. But lately he's been into Mighty Morphin, and that's the one from yesteryear.
Yeah, because I know they came out with a movie not too long ago.
Yeah.
I actually saw the movie. And
I mean, it's stupid, but it's kind of fun.
Well, this movie was a little bit more realistic than most of their predecessors, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
It had a little bit more of a darker.
Yes, it is dark. And what's his name? Walter from that show where he's a teacher who sells meth.
Oh God, I don't know.
You know that show. What is it
Which
called?
one?
Bad.
It's called Breezy Moms. Well, that's what it's called.
No, that's my show. No, there's a show everybody is into. It's over now, and his name in the show is Walter, and he was like a science teacher, and he realized he knew how to make meth. And
Bill Nye? No, you're talking about Breaking Bad.
Bill Nye selling meth? What planet are you on?
Breaking Bad.
Oh,
is that what it is?
Yes.
I don't think I ever seen one episode of that show. But anyway, welcome everyone to the Breezy Moms Podcast. Your host Candace is having a moment.
Oh boy, it's delirium. That's what it is. It's delirium.
There's so much that's going to be happening on this episode. We've got people coming.
I know.
on.
I'm so excited. So this is Tom always moving me along. Whatever, Tom. So we have two special guests on the show tonight. Later, my sister-in-law Paula is going to join us.
Awesome.
This is James's sister, my husband's sister, and she just had a baby a couple weeks ago, and so she's deep in the throes of new motherhood and up all night crying baby sore nipples. So I really wanted her to come on the show because I remember it. I
didn't know that she was James'
You didn't?
sister.
You can't see her face?
And then now when you said it, I was like, oh my God. It's like I just saw her at work today.
Oh no.
That's
yes,
awesome.
Those Dorman genes are pretty strong.
Yeah.
And if she'll let me, I'll even post a picture of my kids as newborns and her newborn son. It's I sent it to her and she said, "Oh, is it Lincoln?" She asked me if they were all Lincoln, and her own son was in the photo.
Wow.
So
just so that you know,
genes are intense.
It wasn't permission what she was asking. She's gonna do it. So just expect it. So who else do we have in the studio?
Paula will be on later, and then tonight I have my little cousin Dakota has joined us. Say hi, Dakota.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Dakota.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's going to be so much fun. You know, Candace and I always have a good time on the show. Here, I'm going to push this a little closer to you.
Yeah, you got to get real familiar so that we can hear you. But I tell you what, this is the loudest I've heard Dakota's voice in like 7 days. I love her.
She's very, very
She's a very
quiet.
small, quiet voice, but she's so cute and she's so beautiful. And we finally got a chance. Last night we were up pretty late talking, and I was like, "Look at you! You are so cool." This is the first time I'm hearing your voice. So all the last couple of days, she's been like scaring me because she'll be right behind me talking, but I don't know that she's there. So she's like, Dakota, come on. Yeah. So anyway, I'm so excited that she's here. She's actually interning with me for a couple weeks this summer at the daycare. So
you're helping out?
No, she's interning. She's not helping out. She's working.
Well, she's working and helping and assisting. And
yes.
So she's your assistant.
Yes, she is my intern. Listen, we're being very specific about it.
She's an intern. Oh, intern.
She's
okay.
Intern.
She's the intern. Got it.
We're getting her real work experience. It's her first job.
Yeah, got it.
Right, Dakota? That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's her first job, and we want to make sure that it doesn't just feel like, oh, I was at my cousin's house for a few. So I'm like, hey, Dakota, we have work to do.
Intern. Got it.
So she is joining us tonight on this episode.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Candace, I have a question for you.
I'm listening.
How are the boys?
The boys are good. So Emery's wild as usual. I say that every week. So I was just trying to put him to bed because he was nearly hitting so this time he was sleepy, and when he got super sleepy after he finished eating, then he started throwing rice. But it was the kind of throw that's like a dejected yes.
Like, I know that's what I'm doing, but I have no energy.
He'd throw the rice and then his arm would hit the table. Like, what is wrong with you? So I took him upstairs and cleaned him up and tried to put him down, and then all of a sudden he popped up like, no, I will not go to sleep. And so we were having a big throwdown fight in his room, and then James came in and the whole thing had to start all over. I was like, he was just about to go to sleep, and now good luck. I have to leave, and you're it.
You're it. Poor James.
And then Lincoln is so super cute. He is. I'm his mother, so of course I'm going to say that. But yesterday we were driving home from Ikea. I went to pick up some from Ikea, and he, out of nowhere, he goes, "Mom, how come we don't have a car that has the door where you push the button and it moves all by itself without anybody even touching it?" And I was like, "What? Are you talking about a minivan?" He said, "Yes. How come we don't have one of those cars? The door just moves all by itself." And so because we have the car that we have. And he said, "Well, can we get one?" And so we went on this whole conversation. He goes, "Well, where do you get it from?" I said, "Oh, the car store." And he thinks for a second, he goes, "How do you fit a car in your trunk?" I was like,
well, that's cute. That means he's thinking critically, which is important.
He is thinking critically. So that was a super cool conversation that we had that kind of got into, well, we like hybrids and Daddy drives an electric car. And he was like, "I don't care. I just want the door that opens by itself." He's
going to be the one that gets that Camaro first.
Yes. And then later the night, we opened the boxes from Ikea. I bought these little it's a sensory table. And luckily it is probably only item from Ikea that's literally just a table and 4 legs. So he was able to he put it together. He goes, "Mom, I'm going to be a builder like Grandpa. I just put this whole table together."
That's awesome.
And then this morning he goes, "Mom, you didn't even know I was an engineer." I was like, I didn't. But he's just so, I love it.
That's awesome, though. But, when you think about it, building IKEA stuff is like building a house.
It really is.
So the fact that he was able, even if it's just that simple, right? A table and 4 legs, still. It's like, because reading the instruction in itself, they're pictograms.
Yep.
They don't even have words.
Well, so he said to me, "Mom, I'm going to be a builder like Grandpa. I made this and I didn't even look at the instructions." I couldn't. And it's so funny because James said, "Did he just summarize all of IKEA's furniture?"
In one sentence.
Because literally you can't even look at the instructions because they mess you up.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, well, the screws look the same length on the piece of paper, but I have 2 different ones.
Right.
Which one is which?
And then you're done and you have like 4 screws and a piece of wood. And you're like, oh shit.
Oh Lord. Something's not right.
Yeah, so he was really feeling himself today. He was telling all the kids today, "Look at this table I built last night." And so he's super cute. And
That's awesome.
And then we saved, because I'm a hoarder inside in my jeans, I saved some of the pieces from, hey, be nice. Anyway,
I didn't say anything evil.
I saved some of the pieces from the inside, like the packaging pieces that keep the thing safe, and put them, because I'm really into this thing called loose parts, which is, it's just a hoarder's dream, right?
Junk drawer.
It's a junk drawer, but you give it to the kids.
4 of those. Right? And a whole basement full of IKEA stuff.
Oh my God. So it's just this idea that you take stuff, like loose things that you find around the house and present them to kids. And then maybe you give them a prompt, but you really just take a step back and see what they do. And he took them all and made like ramps for his cars out of it. And he was like, oh, I'm building a city. You didn't know I was an engineer. And he was doing this whole thing.
That's awesome, though. That means that he's really taking
Thinking.
that creativity part of his brain and using it.
Yeah.
You know, believe it or not, one of the best toys that you could ever give kids, and although they're horrible to step on when they're on the floor, is Legos. Building blocks are amazing because they really allow you to get really creative. I played with building blocks most of my youth, and believe it or not, it's the very similar concept to the pictograms that are offered at Ikea, which is probably why I can weirdly follow Ikea instructions because Legos are the same way.
Yeah, I've never been good at Legos. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm creative, and other times I'm presented with something like that, and I'm looking for a picture. Like, where's the box? What's on the box?
I used to build
I'm gonna do what's on the box.
castles and all this crazy stuff in houses. I can't tell you how many times I built the house that I was going to build in real life.
That's so cool.
With a pool and everything.
I kind of prefer the regular. Right now I've been giving him Jenga pieces because Jenga pieces are basically building blocks. And then we just start adding the whole thing with the loose parts is you can just sort of add whatever you have around the house. So we bring the animals from the farm piece and we bring the Jenga stuff and now the little things from Ikea. But really it's just a hoarder's dream. It's just like a reason to keep shit. So right now on my window ledge is a growing collection of bottle caps, like from the orange juice or the water or the whatever.
Can't you? So they're not metal ones. I think you can. Turn them
they're
in
not.
You can sell those
Bottle caps?
Yeah, the metal ones.
Oh, really?
You can bring them to the aluminum place, and they'll pay you by the pound.
Wow. No, that's not what I'm saving. I looked at one just recently, but I'm worried that the little edges might be too much for the little kids. So I'm really just keeping like the plastic ones that.
I can't wait until you start doing like the macaroni things, sticking macaroni in a paper and saying, "Here, I made your postcard."
I hope not. I hope not.
It's always fun. So, and by the way, I will warn you, you're going home tonight with a lot of popsicles.
Oh. Did they get to eat any when they were
Yeah,
here?
they had your boys. I ended up giving you boys, and then some of the kids, but I still got so many left over. And
that was a fun party. I had fun at your was it a housewarming?
Yes, so I ended up having a housewarming, and Candace came over with the boys. And
I was like, oh, is this a kid-friendly party?
I was like, listen, let me tell you something right now. You can bring the kids. I am not responsible with what your kids go home as far as language goes. Just let you know, I got crazy friends. But no, they came over. They rolled down the hill.
Yeah,
they played. They were
backyard.
playing football and what's the other one? Hacky sack? Is that what it is?
Didn't Lincoln beat you at hacky sack?
Did.
And put your business in the street.
He did. I walked up that little hill with my tail between my legs. I was like, I got beat by a 4-year-old.
Oh my god!
3-year-old, 4.
4.
He's 4 now. See.
And then your brother's stepkids, they're like 8 and 9, and he was playing with them, and you might have thought they were a year apart.
Yeah,
like,
I was just like,
ginormous.
Yeah, but they were. It was great. It was great. I'm glad that you brought them.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, you're going home with popsicles. Just
nice, because it's pretty hot. Although today, I hate when I start talking about the weather because I feel so terrible.
It's a gorgeous day out today.
But it was actually a gorgeous day. It wasn't so hot that like my ears were sweating the other day. I was like, oh, this is disgusting. Or you get out of the shower and you're still sweating. You don't know about that because you have central air.
Yeah, no. But I do know about that because I didn't always have central air.
Oh my God. But it's easy to forget.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
And then let's see, Dakota, how's the week been going for you? You're almost a week in.
Yeah. I'm glad it's almost over. Yeah.
I'm hurt. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, but I'm excited that tomorrow's Friday. Yeah.
That's how most of us adults.
Yes.
It's like a very adult emotion.
It
be
is.
Looking forward to Friday.
So how long will you be here?
For a month.
Oh, nice. So you get to intern for a month,
Yes.
gain that experience, and then when you can go back, you can tell all your friends about it. And then when you start looking for work, you can put that down on your resume.
Yes. That's the plan, is to send her home with a resume, a resume builder, like bullets for her resume.
And I'm
by the
so
time
proud
she
because
goes.
Candace finally joined the Mac world. She's got a
I
MacBook.
do. I feel fancy.
Yeah, so now you can make the resume right there. They've got wonderful templates
I
on
guess,
their
but
pages.
I just asked you how the internet worked and
Yeah.
how Internet Explorer or whatever it's called. I was like, I'm pressing the button and nothing is opening, and you're like, it's already open. I kept expecting a new window to pop open.
Well, no, you have to open a tab.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know anything about this. The last time I used an Apple, I sound like an old lady. The last time I used an Apple computer was sixth grade, and they were Macintoshes.
Yeah, and they look like big bubbles.
Exactly. No,
Yes.
before that, they weren't bubbles in elementary school. They were just squares, the like off-white colored square with the floppy disks.
I remember
those
floppy
bubble
disk.
things, the fancy things with all the colors, that like colorful thing, and
That came out, you're right,
I was
that
in
came out in like
college.
2003, 2004.
Yeah, and when it closed, it had a handle. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were doing all kinds of things to make it like hip for the kids.
I have always loved Mac computers, but I will tell you, my first one I bought shortly after the first iPhone in 2007 is when I bought my first Mac. And then my second one is sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at Paula. She's on Skype on that computer, and I've had it ever since. And let me tell you, that thing still
Workhorse.
runs the same way it ran when I first bought it.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. They make good products.
Yeah, because
We're not endorsed by Apple, just letting you know.
yeah, because what did I have? A PC? Every
Mm-hmm.
PC laptop I've ever owned or desktop has just exploded.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
Right. You remember Dell? Does Dell even exist anymore?
They do. They do. A lot of
Interesting.
corporations use Dell.
Yeah. That's so funny.
They're still around, surviving somewhere, hanging by a thread or a neck.
I know. So, that's the book. I mean, James is good. I always leave James for last. I don't mean to, but I see the kids all day long, like they're all day. But James is good, and he says work is crazy right now. So it's always an interesting he always has an interesting story when he comes home. It's kind of funny.
These next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be one of those weeks where you can actually put those stories in a book, sell it, and make it a bestseller. It's going to be one of those crazy end of the month.
So I'm trying to. I usually am like, whatever's happening there is not crazier than like a shitty blow up some baby's back. But I'm trying to let him have his moment because I hear it's pretty wild.
It's pretty intense. There's a lot of things hitting everyone from everywhere, from every direction.
Yeah.
Reports, testing, this, that. It just, nothing.
And I don't miss it. I don't miss it. Every once in a while, I think that I feel some way about not working out in the world. You know what I mean? Like, and then I roll out of my bed into the shower, down into my office, right? Like in that order.
Proud of you.
Really fast, really quick. And I realize then that I don't miss having to see other people when I don't feel like it.
I wish I could just roll out of bed, pop the computer open with my coffee cup and my robe and just go to town.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I mean, I can't
At least
quite
not
do
yet.
that because other people are coming to the house. But
True.
it's still pretty fly. I like it.
That's awesome.
So the week has been going well, and I just new clients started this week. So it's my first week with a full house.
Wow. How many kids do you have now?
6, including my own, at capacity. And that's why I desperately needed an intern.
So
it's
that's
been
why she's an
working out.
intern.
And that's why it's fantastic. So I'm
Awesome.
really glad. With that, I think we should just jump right in.
We should invite Paul in, right?
Yeah,
and
I
have
think
her
we
join the
should.
conversation.
Yeah,
I'll let you introduce
let's just
her.
jump right in. So tonight's guest is my sister-in-law, Paula, who is joining us from California. How are you, Paula?
Hi, Candace. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for
Hi,
joining.
everyone.
Hi, Paula.
I'm
Hi,
so
how are
glad
you?
that you could be on.
Oh, she is
Thank
in
you for
sunny
having me.
California.
Southern
Yes.
California.
It's been hot. It's been
Oh, I
really
can
hot.
imagine. Are you guys getting any rain out there? I heard that it's a little short on rain right now.
Yeah, I don't even remember the last time it rained,
Oh,
to be
wow.
honest. Yeah, it's been a while.
That's
But
hard.
Yeah, we've just been having heat waves for the most part, but it's a little bit like, I guess, has been cooling down over the past week, but today it's hot. So
Yeah, the
just
Santa Ana winds can be very dangerous. It's either very hot or very cool.
exactly.
Well, the California just weirds me out because I've mostly been to Los Angeles and Los Angeles area, and so I assume all of California was like that.
No.
And I went to San Francisco in August and was crying like a little girl because I was dressed for Los Angeles weather and it was like 65
Different.
degrees.
Mhm.
I had no idea, but it was 100 degrees in the daytime. So I would be out working all day and have like a day to night sort of thing. So you go home midday and take all the stuff off and leave it in the hotel for your evening event. And then literally people were giving me their clothes. Because it was just like,
San Francisco is one
Shivering.
of those cities where, the average temperature, depending on, it's usually ranging around 70 degrees. And it's very misty, very, very rainy. And when you get a good sunny day, they know how to take advantage of it.
yeah.
Exactly.
I've heard people say it's like the layering. Layering is king there because it could be super, super hot and then get cool, then get hot again. Like you just have to be able to roll with it.
And your heating bills are amazing
Why?
because you don't get to use your heat that often.
Oh,
there.
because it's
Yeah,
mostly
or the
warm.
heat.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But your electric bill is out of control.
And rent too. It's
That's
very
true.
expensive to live
Yeah,
in San
the rent
Francisco.
is.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
I read somewhere in an article that a couple making $117,000 now for a family of 3 is considered to be under,
Like poverty line.
under the poverty line.
Wow.
$117,000.
Wow.
Yep.
That's incredible.
That's how expensive it is to live in
Yeah.
that city.
I just
Yeah.
I don't know any of the areas there, but I have a friend from college who is from, I don't know, Oakland or something, and was just saying that there's some area that now is getting is like all of a sudden super expensive to be in, or is sort of turning that way because people are trying to be close to San Francisco but find somewhere that they can afford.
And,
Yeah.
and the further out you go into those suburbs surrounding San Francisco, and the more the population grows, they'll probably catch on quick and say, we've got to raise rents because ultimately that's the draw, right? They want to be close to the city. So a lot of
Yeah.
people will drive away, like drive an hour and a half away. Like I have a friend of mine that lives in Escondido, and he's like, it's quite a drive all the way up to San Fran, but, the rate of living down here is reasonable, and I don't mind taking that commute, but it's torturous.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But I do get jealous of the Los Angeles weather when we're in here, like freezing
Sorry.
mid-year. So
Yeah, that's a plus side, at least.
I run a refrigerator in the house.
oh well, that's right now at this moment because central air is really high. But I mean, just regular, like in our winter when we're freezing cold here in the winter.
Oh, I set my heat at 66. Bring a jacket. Like I'm hot all the time, so even in the wintertime, my heat is literally set at 66
I wouldn't be able to manage
all day long.
wouldn't be able to manage. But anyway, that is not what the show is about tonight. We always get on these crazy wild tangents. And I told you I hate talking about the weather because it makes me feel really like old and boring. I'm not sure because it is pertinent, right? We're all feeling it and it is different. Here I am talking about the weather. I don't want to talk about the weather. I want to talk about Paula because Paula just had a baby. Congratulations, Paula.
Congrats.
Thank you.
How old
Thank
is
you.
Camden?
Camden will be 7 weeks on Saturday.
Oh my gosh. And how is it going?
It's going.
You hear that little twing in her voice?
So can I ask,
Yeah.
is Camden your first?
Yes, Camden's my first.
Well, definitely.
It's my
That's a double congratulations.
first. Thank you.
Because
Thank-
normally when I speak to Candace, she's a mother twice over, right? So she's got that experience from the first one. So how does it feel?
It feels good, interesting. It's a lot of I guess first experiences. My mom was here for the first 6 weeks, so I had a lot of help. So
That's
anytime he was acting up or like at 2 a.m. in the morning when he just started crying, I just go and in her room.
Here,
We're just like, look,
here.
take them, just take them. But this was technically the first week we've been on our own, so that has also been interesting. Like
Wow.
just figuring out, or creating a rhythm and a routine going with just his feedings and diaper changes and when to bathe him, when he's hungry versus when he's colicky or has gas and
Wow.
everything. So just, I guess, a learning experience all around.
So tell us a little bit of how your birth story went. Like,
My birth story went exactly how I did not want it to go.
oh
So
no.
I was talking to my doctor maybe week 36, and she said she wanted to induce me, and I was like, well, I had high blood pressure due to my thyroid, so I guess I was a high risk pregnancy. So she said she didn't want to chance it, and she wanted me to have not a C-section, sorry, be induced week 39.
Okay.
And so I told her, week 39, week 40, what's the difference? I was like, might as well just let me go if my blood pressure comes down. And she said she would think about it and kind of made all these promises that were just lies.
Oh no.
And so week 30 or 38 or so comes around and she books the induction. So she says, I'm going in June 1st. And so I kind of was upset with her, but she just told me to just forget about it, whatever. It doesn't really matter, even though it mattered to me.
Yeah.
A human is coming out of your body. I can't forget about it. Sorry,
Exactly.
doctor.
Doctors are the worst.
Yes, and I've heard all of these like nightmare stories about inductions and how it takes longer and how it's more painful than going into labor naturally. And so that's what I was trying to explain to her. Clearly she knew, but she was just kind of like, it's better to be on the safe side, even though my blood pressure was normal. She just wanted to be safe. So I ended up going in.
I bet she had some kind of plans. I hate
Pitocin.
her. I hate her.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.
And I hate when it's a female, like it's a woman obstetrician, and you're like, but don't you know? I know you have kids. Like, why are you behaving this way?
And she didn't have any kids, and so that's why I also gave the side eye to myself. Like, you don't know. I was
Next
like, I
time
hope
you
this happens to you.
change next time.
Because let me tell you, I've been in the company of Pitocin. That drug is no joke.
Why would you be in the...
Well, I was in the delivery room with my first nephew.
Oh, okay,
with
got
my
it,
sister-in-law,
got it.
and she wasn't.
I thought you had like friends who just like throwback to.
No.
It's like,
what kind of friends do you think I
you said I've
have?
been in the company of Pitocin.
So my sister-in-law, when she had our oldest nephew, who's now 20, Jesus Christ, she wasn't dilating, so they had to induce her labor. And then the pain became so unbearable that she got very stiff, and now she couldn't like push. So then they gave her epidurals to calm her down. And then now she couldn't feel the contraction, so then she couldn't push, so they had to give her Pitocin again.
Oh my God.
It was torturous.
It's like an escalation.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like that was kind of like similar to me. They, I went in at 2 a.m. They started me on Pitocin, and I couldn't not necessarily handle the pain. The pain was a lot, so they kept on playing with the levels. So they put me up to, I think it was like a level 4, and then a level 6, and then my body was reacting to it badly, so they dropped me down to a level 2. Then at one point they stopped the Pitocin, then they put it back on. So my body was just confused. And so at one point I couldn't handle the contractions. So I think 16 hours in, I was like, you know what? The epidural. Just give me the epidural. I can't.
Oh, there was you were trying to go without the epidural?
Yeah, I was trying to go without the epidural.
Why?
Because I wanted at least part of my plan.
Oh, that's a good
and
point.
It didn't work. So I ended up getting the epidural, and then I got to 6 or 7 centimeters dilated. And then 5 hours later, I didn't dilate anymore. And the midwife came in and was like, you know what, you should just, we recommend an emergency C-section. Wow. And after that, everything just picked up. Like in 20 minutes, I was on the table. Because also, too, the Pitocin was causing me to have fevers and shake.
Wow.
And so I couldn't stop shaking. So I'm on the table to get a C-section.
And you're
shaking.
pushing. Oh, my God.
And I was like freaking out because I said okay, but then I didn't realize how fast everything was going. And so I was like, okay, they're about to cut me open. So at one point I was like, I can't breathe. I started crying and the nurse was like, your oxygen levels are fine. You're just
Pull
panicking.
it together. You're like, whatever.
Yeah. And so they gave me
feel like I can't
oxygen.
breathe.
Yeah. So at least the nurses were very nice. They calmed me down. And then before.
Oh, we froze. Say that one more time. Before you knew it, he was here?
Yeah, before I knew it was here. I mean, you could, this is probably gross, but you could smell them burning your skin, like cutting it open. So at one point I was like, you're not giving me oxygen. I was like, these are chemicals. And they're like, no, that's your skin burning.
Oh my God.
So let me ask you, so you
intense.
were conscious throughout the whole procedure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good because some people end up with an emergency C-section and have to be put under general anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
So like on one hand, it sucks to smell your own skin burning. But on the other hand, it also, I hear, is a very tough thing to go through and not be awake, like going under general. So you go to sleep and you wake up and there's a baby. There's like,
exactly.
It's a weird mindfuck for your brain.
Exactly. And I think there's more recovery time too, because they put you in a separate room. But no, I was awake for it. And
like,
then
do they do the blue sheet that they do in the movies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm always wondering, what, I didn't have a C-section, so I'm always interested to know what we see on TV, because I know the whole like, oh, you're walking somewhere and your water just breaks in the street, or your water just breaks on the floor in the bathroom. Like, that's not a thing that always happens to everybody.
Exactly.
So it's just always fun to, not fun is, there's nothing fun about it, but to hear what's real, to get to know what's real from what's just TV.
So can I ask, so you have your C-section, and you've had your child with you now for about 3 weeks. What's the 7? 7 weeks. What's the recovery time for surgery when you have C-sections? Because I mean, it's in a very, very peculiar area the way they do it, because they literally do the incision right where you button your pants.
Exactly. Right above the bikini line.
It's like,
and so it took 6 weeks for recovery. So they usually recommend 6 weeks. So they tell you can't lift anything over 10 pounds.
Wow.
And I was in the hospital for 7 days after. So like I had to have the nurses help me like go to the bathroom, which is TMI, but still like you needed help to do everything. And I practiced walking up and down the halls just to kind of get the feeling back in my legs. But it was a hard process. But I guess as the weeks went on, I got substantially better. So
that's good. That's good. And you look good. You look like Paul. You look normal to me. I mean, I can't see your belly from here.
Exactly. I was going to say.
From the neck down.
Exactly.
From where I can see, you look like your normal self. So even though, I mean, it's basically a traumatic experience. Even if you don't get cut open, childbirth is a traumatic experience. And so you're glowing. You've got the mom glow, even though you feel tired and you haven't slept in the last 3 days. You look great.
It was
coffee is a wonderful thing,
girl.
Oh yeah. Are you still taking them?
Yes, I'm still taking them.
That's good.
Just because I'm breastfeeding. So I guess it's only good it's good for me and the baby.
Right. I'm so bad at taking the friggin' pills. I probably still have the same packet of pills that I bought when I found out I was pregnant.
Girl,
like,
those
I
are
just
important.
never.
Man, when you start
That's
taking
probably
the
why I always feel
prenatals,
crazy.
your skin starts growing. Your skin looks
nails,
amazing.
hair.
Your nails, your hair, everything just grows like it's on steroids.
All right, so I'm gonna go home and take one tonight.
Good.
Okay. Are you still breastfeeding?
I am. Okay. I'm down to once a day now. Once a day in the morning at like 5:30 in the morning, and then that's it.
All right. Well, take your prenatals.
I should. I had a goal of 2 years old, and Emery turned 2 last week, and he's still insistent on this once a day. He's asked a couple times, like if he falls down or something, he might have some feelings, especially now that we have a brand new baby, like a 3-month-old in the house. He is in his feelings a little bit, but I'm sticking to just the one time a day. I don't know when I'm going to cut it out, but I'm tired.
It's not easy.
It's not. I've been nursing for 4 years, like four whole years. Yeah.
And so it's time consuming too, because you can't do anything. It's not like you can multitask or anything.
Right.
You just have to, always pause.
Well, I've always thought that, breastfeeding is a great opportunity for mom and baby bonding, right? Because you, like you said, you can't do anything, so you focus on the task of hand, and that's making your baby comfortable.
Yeah, I would say,
and loving it and feeding it and
yes.
saying, "Here, eat."
Although now it's
Mommy
very
made this for you.
Yes. Yes.
when that gets weird is when they start eating table food and then they're still nursing and then they're eating out of your plate. And I'm like, so I just shouldn't have anything. I have to feed you on a plate. I have to feed you from my plate and I have to feed you from my body. Like, when do I get something? I'm hungry too.
You'll never be your own person until they move out the house.
And even then, I swear. Even then. So, so we're 7 weeks in. Do you feel, you were talking about schedule. What does your schedule look like? You're still at home, right?
Yeah, I'm still at home till I think mid-September. But for the most part, I've been waking up a few times during the night now. So usually like around 2 a.m., then 4 a.m., then 6.
Yep.
And then by 7, it's just like, there's no point to even try. There's no point. And so I'm usually up by 7 and will get up, then pump. Just so that I have, because when I was at the hospital too, I wasn't producing milk. So I was breastfeeding all the time and not realizing that he was still hungry.
Oh, wow.
And so, so we had to kind of, I guess, supplement with the formula. Mm-hmm. But so now I've gotten into the habit of just pumping too. So I have at least my stock for the day when Tim wants to feed the baby, but also my stock for when I go back to work and have to give it to the daycare and stuff like that. So, really just, I guess, piling up my stock and
Isn't it weird that you start talking about breast milk like that?
Exactly.
My stock is running low. I need a new fridge. I need a deep freezer for my milk.
Exactly.
Really
I was like,
weird.
This stuff has to go. It's like everything has to go. Yeah.
We have a whole shelf, and my kids too. Why do I still have this milk?
One of the amazing things that I'm starting to see now in corporate America today is that they're now requiring new buildings when they're constructed. I don't know how it's like in California, but I'm sure it has to be. I mean, California comes up with everything first, and they move it everywhere else. But they have breastfeeding rooms now. Like every corporation that builds a new building has to build a room with lock and key, with a refrigerator where you can go in and a comfortable rocker and sit there and pump.
That's great.
Exactly. My office has that. Yep. So we have one on the 3rd floor too. Yeah. Just like a nursing room and stuff like that. And I think 5 of my coworkers are pregnant at the same time. So one of them came up to me and was like, we're going to be fighting for that room. I just want to let you know, but
you have to be on a real tight schedule.
Yeah, we have one. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah. It has a sink. It's got a nice little small refrigerator and a nice, comfortable. I was like, man, I could go in there and take a nap.
I know. Well, it's nice when companies do that because there are other companies that just meet the requirement, but it's not exactly like most places don't have sinks and stuff in the rooms. Some used to be a closet. My friend is at a school right now, so I think it's a handicap bathroom for a locker room. So it's big, but it's still a bathroom. But they're insistent that it's okay because the room itself is so big that you're not actually right next to the toilet. She's like,
doesn't matter though. You're in the bathroom.
But you're in the bathroom. So that's what I'm saying. It isn't.
I would turn around and be like, do you eat in the bathroom?
Exactly.
You eat at a table, don't you?
Right. Not anywhere near a toilet.
And the thought of you bringing your food into the bathroom, even though you're going to put it on a table, is a no-no. You leave it right by the microwaves or, come on.
Yeah, people get... Yeah. So that's when companies are not trying to be helpful to their employees.
See, I'm pro breastfeeding, and I love when I see women empower themselves in breastfeeding their children, even if it's in public. But I really dislike when they get chastised for it, and people who don't understand how beneficial it is for you to feed what your body's making for your child. It is specifically being made for the child.
And it's usually people without kids or
older people who like are in the generation that did formula and didn't do it's very the whole thing about breastfeeding and the way that that breastfeeding moms are treated now. And then I would say the way that moms who choose not to or cannot breastfeed, it's very mean, and it's very, I don't want to call it catty because it makes it sound like it's just women, but men and women are just terrible to women who, who are having children, and needing to do what it is that they need to do. And a lot of the chastising over breastfeeding and breastfeeding in public comes from the same people who like titty bars and like boobs out and like tight clothes. And you know what I mean? Like, it's okay for so-and-so to be out here looking raunchy and sparkly, but I can't feed my baby. Like, why are you even looking at me?
Yeah, they're sexualizing something that has nothing to do with sex whatsoever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Breastfeeding is something that has been done for eons. This is a woman's way of being able to feed her newborn baby. And the thought that someone could think that is disgusting because they immediately associate it with whatever preconceived notion of
or they just make it sexual. Yeah.
It just, to me, it's just stupid. It's like, don't go there.
Yeah, I don't remember if I don't know that I got, this is an area where I feel like really crunchy granola, because I just whip out a boob whenever, wherever, however, like it just.
And that's the way it should
comes out.
be.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember there was one time that James said to me, well, do you think you might want to do it upstairs? Like, we were in our house, and I think I gave him the kind of look that he's never ever said anything like that to me again. I was like, in my own house, I have to remove myself. I can't be a part of the conversation that everybody's having at my house. I must remove myself to feed your baby. No, that's not even, we're not even gonna. Psych. It's not a thing. It's not happening. So I think it's, and I am so free in that way that I try to remind myself to also be the same kind of free and understanding for women who are not as free as I am, right? Because there are women who like to breastfeed their child and choose to breastfeed their child, but don't want to pull out their boob in public, And so I try to remind myself not to, make fun of is not the right word, but not to judge them as if they are, because it's still their choice. It's my choice to pull it out if I want to. It's their choice to cover up and buy. Like, I'm like, why would I spend money on a coverlet?
I think that in the end, the point is that no matter how you decide to breastfeed,
right, or feed,
period,
yeah,
it should be allowed.
Your choice, your body, your baby.
The child has no choice. It needs nutrition. It needs to eat to be able to survive. And as a parent, you make that choice, but we should not be chastising people or calling them out in public as being indecent, because there's nothing indecent about feeding your child.
It's so real. Exactly. It's so real. So do you have a coverlet?
No, I don't have it. I just kind of,
yeah.
Proud of you.
And do you remember the first time you tried to nurse Camden out in public?
Do I remember the first?
I mean, it's 7 weeks, but it should be fresh in your mind.
I was going to say, well, I mean, the first real time was really in the hospital, like in front of the nurses and in front of everybody, because at that point, I didn't give a shit. Right? I was like, if you know what I've been through, don't come at me with anything. I was just like,
there's no shame left after childbirth.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't care who's walking in. Like, at one point, my mom was like, wait, hold on. I'm like, I don't even care. I don't care. I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. Anna.
That is so funny. So, but I don't mean, so that is true. That is in public, because those people aren't your people. I'm talking out in the street, like you went to Target or you went to somewhere with the baby and you had to nurse him. And I asked this because I remember the first time that I went out with my mom and we were in Target and I was trying to nurse Lincoln, but I didn't have the boppy. I didn't have the rocker chair. I didn't have and I literally I almost dropped him because I didn't know where to put, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to ask you.
Probably at the mall, at the Beverly Center Mall.
Okay.
We were, it was my first day outside of the house.
Yep.
And so it was like a struggle to walk and all of that. And it was just kind of stressful, even though it was supposed to be a fun day out. And he started crying and screaming. So I just went and sat down but I didn't really get a lot of dirty looks or anything like that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, so far I haven't been judged,
That's
I guess.
great.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming. It's gonna come. But
It always comes.
yes, but at least it was fine, I think,
That's
for the
good.
most
Well,
part. But I wasn't concentrating on other people either.
yeah,
So.
well, that's good. What I was trying to get at is the judgment from idiots is one thing, but there's the technical parts of breastfeeding. And so they're the things like, remember to put the brake on the stroller, because you can use the back of the stroller to elevate your knees so that you're not like cramping your calves. Because when you're breastfeeding the baby,
I didn't even think about that.
so when you're breastfeeding the baby, if your heels are on the ground, then you have to hunch over. But if you lift up your heels, you pull the baby closer to your body. But then your calves start to like fatigue and cramp and get crazy. So then you put your foot on the stroller, but you forgot to put the brake on, so now the stroller is rolling away from you. And you're like trying, you know what I mean? So they're just these little like technical things about just like the technical act of being out in the streets with your newborn baby that if you haven't had one before, you don't even know to think about. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't even know to think about. I really wish I had some kind of I mean, you don't have to buy some because they sell crap for everything, but to remember to put like a burping cloth or something underneath the baby's head to help you not get carpal tunnel in your arm,
wrist,
like in your wrist. But really, what is this part of your arm called? This like your forearm, because depending on how like whatever size your baby is, the back of their head is literally going to hit the same exact spot on your forearm every single time, and you end up getting like it's almost like a bruise, and then it hurts the nerve in your arm, which then extends. True. And then your fingertips start to tingle, and when you're out, you're just trying to feed the baby, but you have to remember to take care of yourself and take that 2 seconds to pad the back of the baby's head. Not because, I mean, obviously because you want the baby to be comfortable, but really because you need to protect yourself, or else it's just you just start to break down. Your calves will cramp, your arm will cramp, your neck cramps, your back is hunched over.
Yeah. Exactly, because that's what I was doing. I'd always be on my tippy toes and then curled over like this, and then just would grab whatever blanket and just put it underneath him. And I was always like, just looking awkward and weird, but I never even thought to like kind of adjust myself or use the stroller.
Because they always say, I mean, when you're not in the moment and the baby's not screaming, right? Or somebody's telling you something, or they've written it in the book and they're not in that space, they're like, bring the baby to you. Make yourself comfortable, and then latch the baby to you. Don't go down to the baby. But in real life, when you're in the mall and people are walking by and your kid is screaming and you're tired, you just hunch over and shove it into their mouth.
Exactly.
You're not like, oh, what did YouTube say? What did the video say? What did the book say? You're just like, stop screaming.
Yes, exactly. And also too, I don't know, TMI, I'm also large chested too. So it's like, you also have to make sure that you're not choking the baby.
They can't get enough. You can't choke them.
So what about a binky? Isn't that what the binkies are for? You little pet.
Yeah, but if a baby's hungry, a binky is not going to do it.
Yeah, they'll just spit it right out.
They try it. They're like, oh, milk. And then no milk comes, and they're like, what the hell is this? Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry. You've been super quiet, Dakota, over here in the corner. Are you learning a lot?
Yes.
Yeah. Just wait, really. Take your time.
Between this, I was just thinking that.
Your time.
Between this conversation and interning in a daycare, it must be the best like birth control she'll ever know.
Don't rush into it.
Don't rush.
Take your time.
It takes a toll. What can you think of something sort of about your body? You're healing. People like to say, "Oh, 6 weeks. You'll be healed in 6 weeks." It's like, no. I'm healing. It's like an ongoing thing. I'm in year 4 and I'm still healing. Is there something about you now that you notice is different about your body, just like your makeup?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like my whole body, actually, like my chest, my stomach, my legs. I actually went on a run for the first time, I think last week, and I felt like I was running in mud. Like I
Oh
couldn't,
no.
like I felt, I was telling my brothers, like I felt every single step when I was running, and it was just kind of, I wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
It was like fake jogging, like, you know, where you're
Yeah,
moving
yeah,
your body,
yeah.
you're kind of just walking. But that's like kind of, I just realized how much of a toll it takes on your body, and it's very hard to recover from. And so I guess it's a learning process, and I'm just learning to kind of accept my new body and just
Yeah.
find out how to work with it, you
That's
know?
such a good point. That's such a good point because people spend a lot of time trying to get back to their old body. And they're all these like Instagram moms who are like, you can do this. Don't say that you can't like get back to the old body. I'm just like, I didn't really like my old body. It might be better than this one, but like I wasn't raving about that one. I just need to get used to the skin you're in now and move forward from here. So that's a really good point. I like that.
Exactly. And so, yeah, it's been a, I guess, a learning experience all around. And I was even watching Serena's HBO special.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I don't seen that. Yeah, like Being Serena, and I don't know. It was just about, she kind of covers, you know, her birth experience and just kind of like getting back into training and all that type of stuff. And it was just interesting to see her point of view too, where I was like, hey, everybody's going through their own journey, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but she's like still kicking ass in her in her recovery. She's still like annihilating people and hurting people's feelings.
Yeah, because she's Superwoman. But still, it was still interesting to see how, you know, how she I don't know, figured it out or whatever. You know?
James was telling me something about how she just beat some girl who seemed to think that she was going to win because Serena is recovering. And it's like, but do you know who I am?
Exactly.
Broken, I could still beat you. Like, what is your problem?
Exactly. So it was very interesting.
Okay, I love it. Those are really good. That point of like learning how to accept your new body and move from here, I think is really key. It's I'm sure there are people who haven't learned that, and it's like many years in. So it's really awesome that you know it now.
Yes.
It's really cool. So what do you think? You have like 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks or now so before you go back to work. What's your back to work plan?
In terms of
like childcare and
childcare
hours, that kind of thing.
Well, I've found a daycare close by, so it's at least 2 miles from work, 2 miles from our house, which is amazing.
Great.
And a lot of our coworkers also use the same daycare, so at least I feel some kind of comfort.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. And so I went on a tour there, met the ladies. They're very nice, and a nice group of kids. So at least I know that I'll be able to transition there. I was planning on starting the daycare maybe 1 or 2 weeks before I actually go to work, just so I can get in the rhythm and kind of, you know, figure it out and like just build up a routine and whatnot. And then go to work. Work is interesting. They did a massive reorganization at my company and they fired my boss.
Oh my God.
I'm coming back to a whole different, I guess, team.
That's insane.
So that one is a little nerve-wracking, but I mean, there's only so much I can do, and I'm on maternity leave, so I just kind of have to develop a plan to, I guess, have the most, I guess, smoothest transition possible.
Have you been able to check out fully, just like not respond to anything?
Yeah, I did up until HR contacted me, told me that news, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's weird.
Exactly. I've only been out for 6 weeks, but everything is changing. But I mean, it is what it is, and I've decided I'm not going to let it kind of ruin my remaining time with Camden, and so I'll figure it out once I get there.
Yeah, and it's good because it's it kind of works, right? Because you're not trying to fit your new lifestyle into your old work arrangement. It's like a new arrangement for your new lifestyle. It should be as good of a transition as it can be.
Exactly. And one of my coworkers on the new team also just had a baby too. So they have to kind of understand, yeah, I have to be gone by this time and I can't come in until this time, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
great. I love it. And how's Tim doing?
Tim is doing well. He's with Camden
I
right
see
now.
him in the background. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's at least, I guess, easing into it. I think he was a little panicky at first, but he's kind of now just throwing him on his back
I
and
know. He looks like a dad.
Yeah,
It's
he's
so
like literally
weird.
performing acrobats in the background. That was
exactly. So he's just kind of, I think also excited too. Like he didn't realize how much you learn, and just kind of creating that bond is that it gets very special. And so he's really, done a great job, and, helping me at least at night and really owning it. So yeah.
That's amazing. It's so weird for me, and I'm sure for most people, that it's like one day you're Tim and the next day you're a dad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like James is James, and now he's a dad. Like he's got dad Crocs. Like he's like he was so excited over the last weeks because I got him. And this is the thing: I bought him Crocs for like something, I don't know, a birthday or something was going on, because Crocs has these new like it's not just the clogs; they have sneakers and like all these other kinds of shoes that you don't even realize are Crocs.
they have flip flops, and they're amazing.
So they have flip flops, they have slides, they have all these different things, and things that just don't look like the gross, like crazy Crocs.
Right.
Oh my God, Tom is
Like,
wearing Crocs right now.
I am.
But
Awesome.
he was like, "Oh my God, these are so." He went out and bought another pair. He's telling everybody about the Crocs, but like that, it feels like dad behavior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like parent behavior to be thinking about comfort.
Exactly.
And so all of a sudden you go from being this like regular you to now your mom. How's that transition been for you? Like, do you feel like somebody's mom?
It's taken a while. Now that I'm kind of on my own and my mom isn't here, I'm starting to feel like a mom now. Because before I'm like, oh, well, my mom is here as backup, so I can mess up as many times as I want.
Right,
It's
you
fine.
slide into that.
Yeah, but now it's just like there's certain times where I'm like, only a mother could do this.
Oh
So
my God.
it's just kind of.
So I sent you a message the other day. I heard that you had like a freak out. I don't know what to call it, because moms have always
freak
had
out.
it. Tell us what happened.
So that was like the second day my mom left. Like my mom left on Saturday and this was Monday. And so I was here by myself. Tim was at work, and I was pumping because he was asleep. And then all of a sudden he started screaming and started crying. So I was like, okay, maybe he's hungry. So I tried to breastfeed him. He wouldn't take it. I tried to give him the bottle. He wouldn't take it. I tried to give him gripe water. Nothing happened. And he continued to scream, like not cry, scream.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes. And so I was like, I think I called 7 people. I called you. I called BJ. I called Dad. I called my mom. I called Christine, because I was like, and nobody picked up because it was so late.
Answered. Oh my God.
Yes, and I was just like, oh no. I was like, nope. I was like, I have to go to the emergency room because I don't know what. And then he started to like burp and like pass gas and like started to pass gas, like fart, burp, and all that type of stuff. And then he started to calm down as I was walking with him, and I was like, thank God, because I was just kind of like, at one point I thought I heard the neighbors knocking on the door. I was like, no, I can't answer. They're going to report me. Like, how are they going to report me to child services? I was like, I don't know what I did to this baby, but it ended up being gas, and I was freaking out. But I think it was good, like you said, that I freaked out, because now I know, like, you know what? There's some things that I can try, and it's not the end of the world, and it'll pass. So.
And you've got it, right? Like, it's almost like if you had reached out to someone might have told you that, but you would have had the experience of really momming it at that moment and figuring it out. So I'm proud of you. I'm sorry that I didn't answer, but I'm super proud of you for that moment, because it must have made you feel like, oh, this shit is real.
Exactly. And I was like, well, if I can get through this.
It's just me. It comes down to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it was scary, but needed experience. Yeah.
That's great. That's really great. Well, I'm so happy for you, and we cannot wait to get out there. And well, actually, we're going to see you in Chicago to get to meet Camden and see you and see Tim, and it'll be so cool. Like James said, oh, we'll be in one room, and then Paula and the baby and Tim will be in the other room. And I was like, baby, oh crap! Like it's 3 of them now. It's just it's a transition that happens immediately and also slowly. You know what I mean? For everybody
Yeah.
around you, it's still Paula and Tim. Especially, I haven't met Camden yet, but I'm so proud of you and I'm so happy for you guys. And I
Oh,
can't
thank
wait to
you.
see you guys.
She's
You're doing a
gonna
great
smother him.
job.
Oh yeah, that's okay too. I'm gonna give him right to you.
Right? See? It's so funny because I feel like that was I'm trying to remember exactly, but I feel like people before were like, "Oh, it's my baby. I don't want all these people touching my baby or holding my baby." And as soon as anybody wanted to take these crying babies from me, I was like, "Here." Or like, if there are people in my house, sometimes I'm like, "Why am I holding this baby? I thought you all came here to do something."
To help me. Yes.
The complete opposite of like your normal people who are like, "No, nobody touch him." I'm like, "Yes, take him away, please. Thanks."
Yes, take him.
Bring him
Take
back when you're ready. But I promise you that Emery and Lincoln are going to be all over him.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't
Because
wait.
they are obsessed with this new baby in my program. Like it's kind of funny. I mean, it's very sweet, but I'm like, good thing we have this baby because ain't no more babies coming around here. Just don't even look at me. Don't ask me no questions. Here, enjoy this baby.
I like that. I like that.
So I will let you get back to momming. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell Tim I said hello and we miss you guys. And you're doing a great job. We will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. It was really nice talking to
Our
you.
pleasure. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, she's lovely. I love her.
Lovely.
And oh my god, I can't believe like as soon as you said that that's James' sister, I'm like, oh my god, I just saw her all day today. Like it just clicked. I didn't put two and two together, and I don't think I heard when you said that she was your sister-in-law.
Yeah.
So, but it makes sense.
I know.
That's
I think
awesome.
sometimes I treat you like I've known you for a very long time, and it really hasn't been that long.
I know.
I like don't fill in gaps because it feels like I've known you for so long.
This is what, week 18. I mean, we've been recording longer.
So maybe like 20 weeks.
Yeah, we're like 20 weeks into our
half
friendship.
of a pregnancy.
But I feel like I've known her for years.
I
But then when
know.
she said stuff, I'm like, what?
Right, because I
Who?
forget to do the other half of the story. Like the first half, I just jump into conversations with you in the second half because it feels normal, natural.
And now we have this rhythm where we bounce off each other like naturally. At first, she was like, yeah, I'm going to do the show. I'm like, I'm not talking. And then she's like, you're going to talk. You're going to talk. And I'm like,
great.
fine. And then, because before she would come in with her format and she would do her show. And then she was constantly looking at me like for validation. I'm like, are you going to talk to me? Come on. Are you going to talk to me? And I'm like, fine. I give up. Yes, let's talk.
Let's talk.
No, but she's awesome.
Well, thank you. She is great, and the Dorman family it's just an amazing family, and the genes are very strong. So when I'm excited to see the baby in person.
Well, we got an opportunity to see a little close up via the Skype feed. And let me tell you, very adorable.
Very adorable.
Gorgeous.
So I swear, if she lets me, I'm going to post that picture of the three of them, my two kids and her kid, so that you can see that literally it looks like a picture of the same.
I thought we had
kid.
already established this. It's not that if
I'm
she
reminding
lets
myself.
You already know you're going to post it.
I know it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. Well, let's wrap up. Let's jump into MomSoHard tip of the week.
What do you have for us?
Okay, so I have been trying to figure out how to monitor some parts of my house with the kids without having to buy a $200 camera system. And I just found an app on App Store, whatever. It's called Warden. Wait, I thought I had it ready. Warden Cam. And
It sounds like something that belongs in an episode of Game of Thrones.
That's the
Warden of the North.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, it is called Warden Cam, and you can use your old phones. Like that's how they tell you to use your old phone. Like prop up your old phone and use it as the receiving camera. And then, I mean, it's called surveillance because you can use it for security, but it also works for like baby cams.
Just make sure that they're plugged in.
Yes,
They gotta be near power source
because or else your phone will shut down.
Yeah.
But I was really excited to find it, and there were a bunch, and I haven't exactly used it yet, but just this idea of being able to use an old, because I have like 100 old phones, and recently a recent old phone that it's way more economical.
But you know that like with that app, there's another app where you can actually use your phones, your iPad. You can prop up your iPad and use that as a video source as well,
interesting.
all at the same time, and you can view them all differently. They all connect through Wi-Fi.
Is that a different app?
I'll find it for you.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
All right. Well, I'm going to try this one and see how this works, and if it doesn't work, then I'll keep going. But I have baby like audio monitors, and I could use a video or two around the house so that because there's just so many of them now.
Yeah, I know. You know, but I mean, you'll probably be in that space anyway. But you literally have to turn on the phone and be like, "Oh, there's one.
There's
Found
one,
you.
right.
Oh, you're under the counter. There you go. Come
No,
here."
it's not for that. It's mostly for when they're sleeping,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to go upstairs and risk waking them up to see.
Oh,
if
so
they're up.
you don't do nap time like they do in school, like on mats or anything. In the
I
play
do, but
area?
I'm still, because they're all different ages,
Okay.
and they're napping at different times. So today, Emery went to sleep at 10:30 in the morning. The 6-year-old is not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I have to. Daycare is different in that way that you have to be able to manage all of them. And I've heard and seen some daycares that I don't know how, but they're able to get all the kids to go to like nap time is from 1 to 3, and everybody naps at that time. But I don't want to force them into that because it would make my life easier, because Emery really just can't handle it. He's the first to go down. I've had to change lunchtime to 11:30 in the morning because that's the latest time that I can get Emery to participate, and then he's always the first one to go to sleep, so that he's close to the nap time of everybody else.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm doing 11:30 lunch, and I'm starting nap time around 12:15, which is really like quiet time, so that when he's waking up, their quiet time is ending, and then it's all good.
Gotcha. So you're sort of kind of trying to sync them all
I'm
together.
trying to sync them up together.
Makes sense, though.
But it's really, it's hard. It's hard I have 3 months, 20 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 6 years. So the 3, 4, and 6 kind of, but the 3-year-old is still sleeping and the 4 and 6-year-old are not sleeping. It's an interesting dynamic. We're trying this thing right now where I brought the 3-year-old into the living room with the 2 older ones, and I'm trying to get the 2 older ones to agree that if we are really quiet in that first half an hour, the 3-year-old will go to sleep. And then you guys, I'm not expecting you to go to sleep, but then you can do quiet time activities because she's already asleep. But if you start quiet time activities, then she's not going to go to sleep, and then nobody wins. And so it kind of gets us a little bit of actual quiet time at the beginning, because they're working with me to try and get her to go to sleep so that then they can play with puzzles. And
that's like the bribe, right?
Right.
If
that's
you
the
help
bribe.
me, I will let you. But then when they
Exactly.
realize she ain't going to go to sleep, so at this point, screw it.
Right. So that's what happened yesterday. But today they came to me and they were like, she went to sleep.
Can we do something?
Exactly.
That's awesome, though.
So the nap time thing, Dakota, what do you think? How's nap time going?
I think it's going great. I think that we need to just work a little harder. But yeah, the kids are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to really step into their shoes and just get on their level. I remember I was on my phone. The one thing that I was worried about was that they're not going to listen to me. So I remember looking up, how do you get a 4-year-old or to listen to you? And you really just have to get on their level and not really, it's really the tone in your voice. You have to just let them know that you hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're not trying to force them to do anything. So, yeah.
Well, did you do that this week? Because I definitely hear a difference, notice a difference in you just in the last couple days in how you've been talking to them and trying to get them to sort of move along and do the things. It's been kind of impressive. The other thing is the piece about getting little kids to listen is to really be careful about how you present information. So if you say, do you want to help clean up, or can you help clean up? Their answer can be no.
You're giving them an option.
You're giving them an option. And so you have to be really careful too. And it's weird because we, like a general, we kind of default to these statements that are presented as questions. Like we don't mean them as a question, but it's polite to form it as a
because
question.
that's how we communicate with adults.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's how we communicate. And so we do that to kids and they use and exploit that that opening.
Yep. I just want to sit here and suck on this, popsicle.
Right.
And you can go and put the toys away.
Do you want to help clean up the slime? Dakota did a really cool thing today with the kids. So we decided the next couple weeks we were going to have a theme. I don't know if it's a theme day, but we had, we were doing library Monday, and then Tuesday is thoughtful Tuesday. Thoughtful Tuesday. So we were supposed to write cards, like make little pictures or something for somebody, pick somebody, and none of the kids wanted to do it. They're like, I want this for me. So it's like, okay, self-care Tuesday.
So they wanted to write cards for themselves.
Yeah, they wanted to make pictures for themselves. Like they didn't want to give anything to anybody. But I think maybe that is a place where we have to present the information differently. Maybe we read a story that's about being thoughtful and giving to other people, but it makes sense that little kids are all about the id and the me. Like they're self-focused because it's survival, right?
It's all about
It's
them.
also right. And then we had Water Wednesday, which was...
they love that.
They love that. They love that. We had the sprinklers going. We had like 5 or 6 different water stations, a floaty boat, like something you use in the pool. We just have in the grass filled with water. Emery spent an hour maybe sitting in like one of those buckets you put beer and cooler, like a cooler bucket, like a tub. He spent like an hour sitting in one of those by himself, just chilling. Straight chilling. And then water tables and a bunch of different things like that. So they really liked Water Wednesday. And then today was Thinking Thursday. So what did you do today for Thinking Thursday?
Well, I thought it would be fun to make slime.
Just kind of sciencey.
Yeah. And I was reading how to make it, and I found an article that says that making slime is actually a good way for it's a sensory type of experience, yeah, and it helps them with eye coordination and stuff, like eye and hand coordination. So yeah.
So she did that. She had the recipe for the slime and had them all set up on the table as like glue and shaving cream, and we tried to substitute
borax.
Contact solution instead of borax, because borax is kind of harsh, and I was sure that they were going to get it, in their face, in their eye, or whatever. And what else was in there? Lotion. Lotion. And then food coloring. And it didn't work. Actually, it worked for the 3-year-old. It worked for the 3-year-old, kind of, but it didn't work for the 4 and the 6-year-old, and they were really upset.
You need the borax.
But it's anyway. The point was, I had to spin it into like, this is how science works. Sometimes you have an idea of how something is gonna go, and it doesn't. And this is a lesson in patience and grit and perseverance.
Big time.
So that's what we did today. And then tomorrow is Funtastic Friday, but without my calendar in front of me, I don't remember exactly, because I think we were saving like pajamas and we're going to do a jammy movie day, but I think that's the end of the month. So I don't remember what we have scheduled for tomorrow, but
we're supposed to watch a movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so maybe we'll do movie day tomorrow. We might not do pajamas because I didn't remember to tell parents, but maybe we'll do like swimsuits in movies or something to make it fun.
It'll work,
Yeah.
Nice little blanket. It's going to be a little on the chilly side in the first thing in the morning. You'll probably get a little, I think it's supposed to go down to like the 60s.
Oh, wow.
In the morning, but then the temperature will rise up pretty quick.
Oh, so maybe we'll do it. Well, here we are back talking about the weather.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe we do it in the morning and put some blankets down and pillows, and maybe we buy some popcorn on the way home. Do all the things that parents don't want you to do, but you have to make it fun somehow. Somehow. And it has been, I think it's been fun. Dakota?
Yeah, it's been great.
It's really awkward right now.
Well, on that note, on that awkwardness, so
Yes.
what was your hashtag MomSoHard tip again?
The Warden, is that what it's called?
Warden Cam?
Warden Cam. And I guess the tip is don't go out and spend hundreds of dollars on video cameras if you don't have to. Here is a hack for videoing it in to surveil to keep an eye on your kids in the different parts of your house.
Also, make sure you keep your old phones.
And keep these are just hoarders. Like, these are just things that I do because I'm a hoarder and I don't like to let go of anything. I feel like you shouldn't judge me because you have like 16 computers right in front of me right now.
I am not judging. I am not judging at all. I'm just laughing.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, on that note, huge shout out to my sister-in-law, Paula, for joining us tonight from California with her beautiful family. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to Dakota. Dakota, have you ever been on the radio before?
No.
So big deal, like doing something new. We are live. Did you know we are live on digitalstreamradio.com/live stream?
Yes.
So, thanks again for listening, everyone, for tuning in each week. We will be back next week. Until then. This show is produced by Tom Ortiz at Digital Stream Radio. It's available for download on Podbean. Follow us at Facebook at Breezy Moms Podcast or email us at breezymomspodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, don't stress, just breathe.